Hello guys, hi, how are you doing? I hope you guys are doing fine. We are fine wherever we are. Okay, it's been quite a while, eh? Yeah, we finally have the cabinet for the seventh administration in South Africa. So I hope you guys are excited. I hope you have gotten what you wanted. Yeah, so wow. Okay, where do we start? I think things are looking good. I think things are looking good, and we can wait to see what is lying ahead and what this new cabinet, new government, new administration is going to offer in terms of service delivery. So, and in this video, let me say first, thank you guys for your support. Thank you for continuing to watch our video. And today we are focusing on three potential ministers who are going to have an impact on everything that relates or that have an impact on foreign nationals. Even though everything that works for the government has an impact on everyone who lives in the country, but we have specific offices, specific ministries that have a direct impact on our lives as refugees, as foreign nationals, as migrants in South Africa. And those key specific ministries that have been nominated by the president, we see some shifts here and there, and what people were expecting, what people wanted, probably is not what has played out in terms of the people, what they wanted certain people to occupy as positions. And here we're talking about the Ministry of Home Affairs, we're talking about the Ministry of Police, and the Ministry of Health. You remember those three ministries have a direct and specifically, especially the Ministry of Health, because it once had some sort of noise here and there in the past. So I was also looking forward to seeing who's going to occupy that position. Okay, and this ministry, it's quite funny how it turned out who have been appointed on that position. And so, dear migrants, dear refugees, dear asylum seekers in South Africa, so from the cabinet which has been nominated by our president, by the president of South Africa, by His Excellency Mr. Cyril Ramaphosa, we see people were expecting that the Home Affairs office is going to be occupied by somebody whom they think was going to be rough and, you know, on foreigners. But fortunately, if I'm not saying it's a win or whatever, all I'm saying that we've got a DA party which is occupying that position. All right. I know many foreigners out there are saying, yeah, this is awesome. At least the DA is white led and is more conservative and is more balanced in terms of how they manage the foreign affairs. Yes, on one side, yes, that is true, and I think you have a reason to be excited about that because they might introduce some balanced reforms, not basically saying that they're gonna go away from what has been already been established. That's new legislation on migration, refugees, and Immigration Act. I don't think they will revert that. They might just iron it out and see how they implement it, perhaps in a way that does not affect much on foreign nationals and so forth. So yeah, that's exactly. But they're still going. I believe they're still going to pursue and ensure that that act is implemented as it has been established. But the good news is that these are people who are probably and hopefully are foreign policy sided. So we believe that we should not be much affected, and if we are, as I always say, as long as you are in the country legally, as long as you are renewing your documentation, and as long as you are doing everything legal, you should not be worried. Okay, you should not be worried. That I see that coming. And the guy who's occupying this position now is actually I would say a young man. He was born 1980, so he's probably in his 41. So, and he's an educated guy. He did political science. He has a PhD in political science. So I think he knows his game. He understands what he's doing, and he's probably gonna come up with something that is going to push the country forward. Okay, so that's on that side. Just stay legal. Just keep your maintain your documentation. I think we should not be worried about that as foreign nationals, as migrants in South Africa. Now, the second position which I want to touch on is the Ministry of Police. I know the PA leader wanted either the Home Affairs Office or the police, but unfortunately, those are top ministries. So he couldn't get that one of that, but he still got the Ministry, or I think, of Sport and Art and Culture, if I'm not mistaken. So yeah, here I want to focus on the Ministry of Police. So remember, the Home Affairs, they work in relation with the Ministry of Police, and so we see again, it's another guy, it's a new guy who has been moved into that position. And even though he's a new guy, but he's also from the KwaZulu Natal province, and he previously served as the premier of the KwaZulu Natal province, or the Durban. So yeah, I don't see much to worry about there, because remember, he is going to enforce whatever that the Home Affairs department ask him to do. So if we have a balanced Home Affairs department, we're probably going to have a balanced activity or enforcement that can be put forward by the Ministry of Police. So yeah, and again, talking about the Department of Home Affairs, I believe this guy, if he's going to utilize his caliber, his education, and his qualification and his experience to try and uh, clean up a bit in the Department of Home Affairs, and improve service there, I think we can see some sort of improvement there. But remember, you should not be excited about this one again, because if you remember, this is a DA guy. This is a guy from the DA. And remember, in the Western Cape is governed by the DA, and yet the Home Affairs here in this province, I could say, is one of the worst performing, because especially when it comes to uh, 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 refugees, asylum seekers, really they perform so badly, to the extent that the refugee reception center was closed for many years. The human rights lawyers had to fight for the office to be reopened, and even though it has been reopened, still the activities there in terms of serving refugees and migrant is very, very poor. So we should not be excited because he's from DA. He's a white guy. That all of a sudden things will go from this low to that high. No, I can promise you, don't hope for that. Let's just hope that things are going to be running a bit smoother, and maybe it's going to improve some areas, but you cannot expect that it's going to move from this to that high. So that I'm not sure, because if they're going to be using the same way they are governing, they are leading the Home Affairs office here in the Western Cape, and I'm talking about in relation to migrants and refugees. If they're going to continue the same way, then we can expect chaos. We can expect even a substandard service towards us as migrants, because The Western Cape is worse when it comes to migrants and refugees. I know people who renew their documents here. I'm telling you, I know. So if I hope they improve, they do better because they will have more power. They will have more funds. I hope they use that power to improve services in the Western Cape and in the rest of the country. So yeah, I always say Durban Refugee Reception Center for me still the best. So yeah, so that's it. I don't think we're gonna have much problems when it comes to the Ministry of Police because they're going to be enforcing what the Department of Home Affairs tells them to do. So I think we can only hope for the best, and let's see what comes from that. And the last ministry I want to touch on, I don't want to be long. The last ministry I want to touch on is the Ministry of Health. And in that regard, we see a shift that the former Minister of Home Affairs is now has been shifted to the Ministry of Health. And remember, he came from the same ministry. He was the Minister of Health from 2009 to 2019 when former President Jacob Zuma took office in 2009. He was nominated as the Minister of Health, and he led that ministry until 2019. So he's back in that office. He did some good work during that time, but again, this is a person who is really I wouldn't say against foreign nationals or against migrants or refugees or whatever. He's just have his own views towards migrants and foreign nationals. So we can expect that he's still going to be going in this new job with the same mindset, with the same ideologies, with the same model of he's going to be so we can expect that he's going to be changing, or he's going to continue with the same mindset, with the same ideologies of what he had while he was still at Home Affairs. So which means he can probably squeeze in terms of health services that refugee or migrants or foreign nationals get at the Department of Health. And this is a very sensitive department because it relates to the health of everyone. And so if we cannot get access to health, it becomes very, very critical. And so I am really, really watching that department closely and will be watching what's happening there. I know there's a new legislation which was signed in the new healthcare insurance, what. So yeah, the national health insurance. So I think he is now the one who's going to be implementing that and working towards the implementation and the work of that legislation. So we will just have to watch out what turns out during his tenure as he takes that office, and see if he's going to close in on what service migrant refugees can get in South Africa, or if we are lucky enough, he changes nothing. But I really, really doubt, because he's got his own reasonings, his own views on how he wants things to be done for migrants, for refugees, and foreign nationals. So yeah, that's how it is, guys. Let's see what comes. Let's see what's going to be in these three ministries: the Ministry of Health, the Ministry of Police, and the Ministry of Home Affairs. So yeah, exciting times. Maybe next time I'm going to look into the Minister of Labor, because that one also is very, very sensitive to migrants. So we look at who is this guy, what can we expect from him, and what he can do better, and so forth. So that's how it is. Good times, exciting times. but yet with so much uncertainty, with so much room for things to go either better or bad. So yeah, we can only hope that things get better moving forward. And that's how it is. You guys keep watching, keep looking out for our videos, and if you have not subscribed, please do subscribe, because we are still coming with more and more, everything that relates to as migrants, refugees, foreign nationals. Will keep bringing that to you guys. So please subscribe so that you can get more of our content. Cheers and chat soon.